Hello, you're watching Marketers Unfiltered. I am Khushbu Soni, founder of The Mainstream, and I am super thrilled to be joined by Priyanka Jaswani. She leads marketing function for GBM, and she's a portfolio marketing manager for the entire Gulf region at GBM. She's been leading marketing strategy and execution across the Gulf, blending data, insights with innovative GTM programs. Priyanka is known for balancing global consistency with sharp local relevance, ensuring every campaign is tied to measurable business outcomes. And it'll be very exciting to understand from Priyanka on, how she's been seeing marketing, reshaping in the region of Gulf and how she's been really driving, measurable marketing programs at GBM. Priyanka, it is an absolute pleasure to have you join us. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this.
Thank you so much, Khushbu, for having me. It's lovely to be chatting with you about marketing. It's my passion. It's my first love. So it's really, really exciting to be here today.
Lovely. So to begin with, Priyanka, I wanted to, put my first question. It's the market that you kind of operate in, the entire Gulf region, right? It's becoming very, very dynamic, and it's the most dynamic marketing environments from a technology and cybersecurity perspective because it's expanding, right? And it's expanding at every second. So from your experience, what defines a modern high performing, marketing function in 2025? And to look forward in 2026?
That's a very good way to get this started and rolling. I think, Khushbu, for my personal experience, and I've been doing the marketing function for 10 plus years, B2B marketing is at the intersection of a very, very extreme maturity level right now. What we are seeing in the market is, yes, the evolution has been extreme. Over the last 2-3 years, it's been even more accelerated due to AI interventions in the region. But what we believe is Gulf market in specific is adapting and making it its own. So you have global trends coming into the market. The adaptation is so strong and so quick that even in a marketing function, the adaptability has to be catching up and has to be on pace with the global markets as well. But this region in specific is very, very strong in terms of the adaptability that it's seeing. So what we're seeing is customers, yes, are very, very quick in the new technology that comes in, but also they're just as quick in making it its own. Right. So not only do we have the intervention of digital first everything, be it government initiatives, be it technological advancements in FMCG, in banking, in finance, but also it's very specific to the Gulf region. And in this region, we see local references working out very, very strongly compared to the rest of the globe. So how we operate is customer first operations in terms of marketing as well. We address the pain points that are more specific to the enterprise customers in the region, mixing it up with the B2C approach that we see globally. But like you said, very sharp focus on the local references that we have as well.
Wonderful. And, while your role kind of expands across strategy to execution and, cross-functional orchestration. So what recurring insights from your experience guide you to craft programs that are truly, resonating to like what you mentioned, which are global in nature, but very, very localized to the region? So how do you kind of do that?
So the recurring themes that we see here is more personalized approach. So back in the days when I started doing B2B marketing, it was all about how big of a name do you have in the market and how much presence that you have in bigger trade shows and sponsorships. But now it's getting more and more close to the customer. So there's a closed door events that are very exclusive, very personal to the customers, where we have our customers come in, talk about their pain points. And the addressal is very, very centered to those specific enterprise customers. The conversations are no longer limited to a big trade show and you're not having the bigger ROI impact on those bigger trade shows, but more on the focused roundtables, be it industry specificity, be it customer specificity, be it local references. So if I'm talking to a bank, that bank is more interested if I've had a similar case study, not just from a global narrative, but also from a local narrative perspective, that I've done this for another bank in the Gulf, or similar for the government as well.
Right.
It's so important for us to have those conversations and have the right people in the room, be it on a C-level approach or be it on senior director levels, manager level approach. So it's important to have this multi-touch point. You can no longer just talk to the decision makers. It's just as important to reach out to the influencers, to the users, to make sure the adoption is happening at every level, because yes, you'll have customers buying different technological solutions across the Gulf, but how many of them are making sure those are adapted into the companies, those are being used into the companies? So that's something GBM is really good at. GBM works together with our customers. We are your consultants, we are your partners when we are implementing solutions for you, because we work together hand in hand to ensure not just the buying process, but also the adoption process, the training and implementation process is taken care of just as well.
Right, superb. Also, just to understand, so you mentioned that it needs to be multi-touch, it needs to be focused, it needs to be personalized, is when we kind of see success to anything that we're driving. I just wanted to understand, do you see from a customer standpoint, from the CXOs and, the buyers, basically, do you see there to be any sort of fatigue in terms of, being reached out by multiple vendors trying to make it again more personalized? How do you kind of identify, oh, this is the right time to reach out to this customer? Or do you do that kind of intent gathering and then reach out? Or how do you
we work on multifaceted approach in GBM. So there is different kinds of customers that we would deal with. These are recurring customers that have, GBM has been around for 35 plus years in the region. So the credibility it's just top notch. The brand is very well known. We work together with almost 60 plus global vendors, and we are the face when customer wants or needs something, has a pain point, we are the ones that they will call. So the approach becomes very different in a company like GBM, because there is not much of stepping away from the noise, but we bring in that credibility that we have the local experience in the region, and we know exactly what your pain points would be and how we can address them just for the customer itself. We don't say XYZ companies in the world have done this. We say, okay, this is your problem. This is how we can address it. And we would help you through and through in addressal of that problem.
Right.
Not only that, but also it's just as important to be there for the customers when things go wrong, because there will that might go wrong, sometimes from an OpEx perspective, sometimes from things break down, cybersecurity issues happen. So this is very common in the region right now. And we talk about fatigue. Yes, there is fatigue. Companies, Gulf is a small market and everybody is being approached by everybody. So how do we step away from the noise is that credibility, the personalization that we bring into the region. We have 7 branches across the Gulf. Every entity is specific to that particular market. So Kuwait would deal with company in Kuwait, and they're very, very personalized to the region itself. So there is no two questions of, I don't know how Kuwait market works because I stay in the UAE. That's not even exist in GBM.
Sure.
So that, I think, gives us that sharp edge to address the customers the way they would like to be addressed, because nobody wants to be like XYZ number of people. Everybody has their own personal technological challenges, and most of the government and private sector customers don't like to talk about their pain points in a public platform. It will be a very, very closed door setting that they would speak about their issues and challenges.
Right.
So I believe it's just as important to talk their talk and really address the issues that they've been having.
Right.
From a marketing perspective, where it brings us in is that intent-based marketing that you mentioned. So recent researchers have shown that customers interact with 13 to 18 pieces of content before they ever contact you. So we as marketers, it's our responsibility to talk about those problems that customers are having. If there is any general trends that we're seeing in the market, be it from hybrid cloud perspective, automation, AI, cybersecurity perspective, and then move it on to our sales teams where they will talk about the particular challenges that the customers are having. So it's very important to have a very strong cross-functional alignment with the sales and the marketing team to ensure the go-to-market strategies are relevant to the market that you're operating in.
Wonderful. I think that was very, very insightful because, and like you mentioned, it is very important to, having a conversation with a customer, which is more about understanding what their challenges are. Not always, like you said, they will be open to share it in a larger forums, right? So a lot of different approaches, multi-touch, nurturing, all of that definitely helps. And problem solving always is the first approach to deal with any customer. Thank you for sharing that, Priyanka. So what we've also seen is the entire region is accelerating marketing cloud, AI, cyber and digital transformations agenda, right? So with these emerging trends in the region that are reshaping, how are brands, also kind of ensuring that it is, of course, being aligned to what the customer requires, being there at the right time, and also, how do you support the whole sales engine with delivering ROI to all your marketing programs?
That's a very relevant question in the market. So there is a lot of chatter in the tech marketing space, especially in the B2B space right now, about AI, hybrid cloud, cybersecurity. So how we approach this is we don't see them as just buzzwords. For us, we call them business enablers. These are business enabling functions. So how we work together with our customers is how would these buzzwords come into your business and enable the business functions that you already have existing to make them more optimized, more cost effective, more the predictability goes up, the forecasting goes up. If you're into B2C, then how do you forecast your models using AI, using hybrid cloud, using automation, using cybersecurity?
Yeah.
If you're into finance sector, cybersecurity is a really, really big question because there are certain rules and regulations locally that all of the finance sector customers have to follow. So how do we have business enablement using these technological advancements into these customers, into their pain points, into their applications as well? Right. So what we talk about is how to use these business enablement functions into their challenge. How has it been used in their sector? What is the best practices across the globe? What is the best practice in the region locally for them? And how do we then implement it for their teams? Second phase is to check the adaptability and adoption internally. If there is enough trainers, if there's a champion that we can have within the customer that can be enabled to better adopt into this technology that we are having as a business enablement function. So all of this is, I'm kind of stepping a little bit into the pre-sales era right now, but it's so important for marketing, like I said, to have a very strong cross-functional alignment with sales and pre-sales teams to ensure that this messaging is being circulated into the market. Sure. It's not just you can buy an AI tool and then you're done. There is so much more to it. Do you have the right database? Do you have the right cloud infrastructure to support the said business enablement functions that you're having? Do you have the right people? Do you have the right training? Yeah. Do you need additional training for your people to be able to use these tools that you're investing in? Right. So all of this is multi-touch point approach that we do in marketing. It's not just you come to my event, you buy the software, and then you're done. Yeah. You come to my event, you start talking about buying the software. You have initial workshops internally to check if there is feasibility from the data that you have to be able to implement such software. Sometimes there is pre-work that needs to be done before any of this can be implemented into the teams. So all of this marketing has a bit of a touch point. It never used to be the case before. It always used to be just the top line of the pipeline that we used to generate. But there is also middle of the funnel campaigns that are happening very, very significantly now that we're seeing driving higher business impact and real measurable results as well.
Wonderful. So, looking ahead, what is one mindset marketing leaders should adopt to future-proof their go-to-market strategies in this fast-evolving Gulf region that they operate in?
What I believe, Khushbu, is basically Gulf will continue to adapt in the speed that it's been doing and even more accelerated. I would say technologically, economically, culturally, we're seeing the adoption of digital-first approach. So for marketers and marketing leaders, I would say it's very, very important to have customer obsession, data-driven approach. So you have to be very, very involved and very in lockstep with your customers. You have to adapt with them enable them to adapt as well. So it's just as important for technological companies, especially Gulf-based technological companies, to listen deeply to their customers, be aware of the needs of the customers, and then provide the solutions. It's not going to be a cut-paste solution that global case studies don't work similar in the region. It has to be local narratives in the region. It has to be very, very specific, personalized, customized for the customers in the region. And as long as the companies are listening to their customers very, very deeply and they're aware of the needs and adapt according to the needs, I think it's going to be an exceptional couple of years ahead, even from a technological perspective.
Superb. Great. I think this was a great conversation, Priyanka, and wonderful insights. Thank you for sharing them with us. I have a few set of questions. I love to call them as rapid fire because we want to hear whatever comes first in your mind when I ask you those questions, and we want to kind of capture it as soon as it hits your mind. So, okay. You good? So can I start with the rapid fire? All right. Okay. So one marketing trend you think is fading out fast?
I would say traditional marketing approaches, it used to be just one touch marketing before. It never is one touch anymore. You either talk multi-touch, omni-channel marketing. I cannot just be present in one event and call it one and done back in the day. It has to be 12 months of multifaceted approaches. You're out of sight, out of mind in the Gulf. That's how we call it. So you don't want to be out of sight, out of mind. So traditional marketing approaches are fast fading, especially in this region.
So true. And I think this is across the globe where while we, hear this and work in other regions as well, that's just the approach everywhere. Yeah. Awesome. So one career lesson you return to often?
I would say I have a two-faceted answer for this. One is you prioritize your tasks. Another one is delegation. As a marketing leader, it's very important to delegate the task and trust your team to deliver, because they're just as important to the success of the whole department as a marketing leader is. You're never a one-person team. It's always a team effort. When you succeed with the team. When you fail, you have to take the responsibility as a leader. Yes. Second is personal prioritization. So you have weeks that you have multiple events, multiple activities going on in parallel. How do you prioritize? How do you then say, okay, this is first, this is second? So it kind of goes hand in hand on prioritization and delegation for me, I would say.
Wonderful. Your favorite productivity ritual during a high pressure week?
This is something that I've adapted over the last 3 years. Also, I do yoga, so I'm a certified yoga wellness teacher as well. I took up certification over the summer this year to solidify my approach, to have that knowledge as well, not just the doing part of it. That really helps me in high pressure environments in order to regulate when you have last minute things going wrong, and things do go wrong a lot when you have execution and events, because there is things that will last minute pop up that you have to deal with. Another thing I really love, and in the UAE you can do it for a limited time, is hiking. I really love going to the outdoors, exploring, challenging myself from a physical standpoint as well, and seeing where I can take it.
Lovely. A hobby or a habit outside work that fuels your creativity? Of course, you mentioned about yoga and hiking. Anything apart from that you'd like to highlight?
I'm a bit of a creative starter, I would say. I've taken up over the years, I've taken up some acrylic painting. I love reading, so books are one of my obsession as well. So I feel like you read about any personal experiences of a person, you can really learn from it and you can really adapt it to make it your own. So I really am a very, very thorough reader. I finish at least a book a week, or I try to at least a book a week, to understand from experiences of people that I really look up to. I have a book exchange program with a couple of my friends where we read some books. Sometimes we take fun in it, read some fictional stuff as well, but a lot of it is motivation based. I feel like that it drives me a lot and gives me the zeal to keep going on in what I do.
Lovely. Very inspiring. And this was a great conversation, Priyanka. Thank you so much for joining us on the mainstream and sharing all your valuable insights with us.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity, Khushbu. It was lovely speaking to you.
Likewise.